Anyway, I thought we'd go back and go over some of these answers just to make sure we have the right ones. So, if you would, just follow along with me, and we'll go ahead and look at this. And you're welcome to reflect back at this whenever you need to study. So, first, let's start with number 1. Your mother asks, "You think it's all right to fail English class?" The answer, obviously, to this one is a rhetorical question because it's a question and it's not intended to be answered. The answer is kind of assumed. Next, we have, we cannot let terrorists and rogue nations hold this nation hostile or hold our allies hostile. This is an actual quote from George W. Bush. He meant to say hostage. And when you mean to say one word, but you actually say a different word, it is a malapropism. 16. Malapropism. Ooh, right there. Next. Before you deliver your speech on dress code in Mr. Puckett's class, a kid shouts, "Nobody cares about the holes in your jeans!" And that is the answer to that is number 17, poisoning the well. It is attacking someone or an issue before anyone gets a chance to speak. That's the important part. It's before you get a chance to speak. Number 5, I won't do it. I won't listen to them. I won't cry. I won't give them the time of the day. I won't ever. And the I won't here is bold because the answer is an anaphora, 10, because that's when repetition, when you repeat something at the beginning of sentences or phrases over and over again. Number 6, the major claim or idea of your essay is that school lunches should be healthier. Major claim or idea here is bolded because the answer is premise. A major claim or idea is a premise. Number 7, Mrs. Appleby's 5th period, the hippest cats in pre-AP, which took out their pencils and prepared for the exam. The hippest cats in pre-AP is surrounded by commas, and it's a break in the middle of the sentence to give us extra detail, more information. And that's what makes it 7 a positive. Next, number 8. I think there's great merit in making the requirements stricter for graduate students. I recommend that you support it too. After all, we're in a budget crisis. We do not want our salaries affected. And then we put, underlined that part. And it says, what does this underlined sentence have to do with the stricter requirements for graduate students? And the answer here is it doesn't have anything to do with it. Because it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, that makes it 19, a red herring. Red herring. So you try to throw people off by talking about something totally unrelated. Number 9, interviewer. Your resume looks impressive, but I need another reference. Bill, Jill can give me a good reference. Interviewer, good, but how do I know that Jill is trustworthy? Bill says, well, I can vouch for her. That kind of circular reasoning is begging the question, right? It's begging the question. You haven't really explained how Jill is trustworthy, and therefore it begs the question, how do we know? Number 10. After I came home, I made dinner. Note the 2 clauses here, and the 2 clauses make this a complex sentence. Number 4, complex sentence. Number 11, nothing is better than eternal happiness. Eating a cheeseburger is better than nothing. Therefore, eating a hamburger is better than eternal happiness. And so that is, I subconsciously made hamburger into cheeseburger because I like cheese. That is a fallacy. It's flawed logic right there. Number 12. It's been raining so much that I think it won't stop for 40 days and 40 nights. This is a reference to the Bible, a holy text for the Christian religion. And because it is a reference, that means it's 3, allusion. Number 14. You're on a date and you have to go to the bathroom, so you say, I need to go freshen up. Right? That is a euphemism. 12. Euphemism is when we say something that is nicer sounding than what we're actually saying. If you said, I need to go to the Whiz Palace, or I need to go tinkle, it's less appealing than saying, I need to go freshen up. Number 15. I made my bed. As opposed to the idea the bed was made by me, right? This is number 1, active voice. The bed was made by me would be passive voice. Number 16, everyone else is going to the track meet tonight, so I will too. This is a clear example of bandwagon. This one's easy for a lot of students to get, especially if you're a sports fan. The phrase on the bandwagon for a sports team means that you're rooting for them because a lot of people root for them, right? That's the idea of bandwagon. You notice a lot of people are doing something, so you do it too. Next, we have Number 17, in order to contrast their difference in height, Mrs. Appleby stood next to Michael Jordan. And the answer for this one is juxtaposition, right? If Mrs. Appleby stood next to Michael Jordan, comparing them would show you how different their heights are. Next, we have Mrs. Appleby makes the argument for Team PETA, so Mr. Dunn naturally takes the other side, and the other side there is underlined for Team Gale. The answer here, of course, is antithesis. When you take the other side of something, the opposite side of someone else, that is the antithesis. And literally, anti means opposite, and thesis is your idea, right? You know what a thesis is. So, like, if someone's anti your thesis, then it's the antithesis. Next, 19. Oh, wonderful and powerful Mr. Puckett, please help me pass this test. And this is apostrophe, right? When you shout out as if praying to a god or deity, although it doesn't always have to be to a god or deity. That's what an apostrophe is. And finally, I hadn't had a bite to eat since yesterday, so Jim, he got out some corn dodgers and buttermilk and pork and cabbage and greens. There ain't nothing in the world so good when it's cooked right. And whilst I eat my supper, we talked and had a good time. And I believe this is a quote from Huck Finn, and that is number 11, dialect, right? It's a specific way of talking in the 1800s South. So anyways, that's all 20 words. If you have questions about any of these, feel free to let me know. Use this video to help you study for the final exam, there's no final exam, for the final vocab test that we have. I'll also post a Quizlet once we get through with all 40 words and get them on our list. You guys have a great day.